Roeschlein. White Rabbit, how's everyone doing? Nasty women. That's why I'm here. I knew I looked like Spinelli from Recess grew up and is now paying her bills by doing Asian foreign exchange student host dad porn. I know what I look like. I get it. I lean into that shit. Why wouldn't I? I'm a pastor's daughter. I grew up learning to touch my girl gash to flood by jars of clay. Said the sinner's prayer after, baby. Truly a coming to Jesus, huh? They're still not happy I'm doing this, but they'll get over it, you know? Here we go. I've got a full-blown Asian mom as well. Isn't that fun? Mom all the time just gave me such grief growing up all the time. I think just me being the oldest and all the time, every day. Hannah, how are your grades? You know, because when you have an Asian mom, like none of you do in here, there's a heavy emphasis on academics in the home. And every day I'd be like, Mom, all good on my end. I'm on top of my class nearly every weekend. Some sluts in here? That's why Planned Parenthood is so great. You know, it's like my GPA, Mom, gag point average, is the highest in the school. My guidance counselor told me, with all the extra credit I've been doing, I'm graduating summa cum laude for sure. That's a cute joke, isn't it? I appreciate you. I'm trying my best. Erin was talking about herpes. Been there. I mean, who doesn't have HPV? That's basically what she was saying. And HPV is so funny to me now because the young millennials will never know what it was like to receive that diagnosis. Like, the Mexicans have almost eradicated it. One day they'll look at HPV like the Oregon Trail disease that it was. But for some of us, we just had to fight it the old-fashioned way, you know? Just drinking and white-knuckling it between irregular pap smears. I remember my nurse practitioner came in and she was like, "You down with HPV? Because you've got to be." A dude gave it to you. They'll show no symptoms because everything in life is easier for them. You'll grow to be a better bitch than they could ever imagine. You know, I think I just turned 36 last month. I'm half Asian, I told you that. We're like bonsai trees. You gotta cut us in half and count the rings. 36 is a fun age. I don't mind being it at all, but it's just, there are things now that I'm like very aware of and okay with. You know, I was driving down the street the other day and I had this moment of clarity where I was like, oh, holy shit. I know for a fact the exact number of Pilates classes I've been to since May, and no idea how many dicks I've had risky business slide in and out of here. The answer is 120 for Pilates. And honestly, as far as the dudes are concerned in my number, I only really thought about it because I don't let anyone slut shame me, because I've had a good time with the whole thing. But a friend of mine the other day was like, "Hey, Hannah, how many people have you slept with?" And I went, 100? That's fun, right? That's why I also, like Megan, can't use traditional tampons. I've started using a foam roller. 36 doubles as a good stretch. I'm not as limber as I used to be. Mom and Dad are very proud, as you can tell. You know, it's like, I feel like dick is so funny to me because it's just so inconsequential. The older you get, you just realize it's like, I started thinking, I was like, I've inspected produce with more scrutiny than the penis I've consumed. If I'd have just eyeballed it, even with blurred vision, just eyeballed it, my consumption rates would be down 90%. I've always been on that free-range organic tip, though don't worry. I'm kidding, I'm a homegrown Hoosier. It's all full fat here for this girl. Everyone PSLs. I'm like, peanut spice lattes, I've been drinking them. Heavy cream. I don't even think that's my type. I'm just from a small town in Indiana. That's all we had. It's all I know. You know, I feel like at times I'm just like one of the shittiest feminists of all time, because when you see those dumb dudes out roaming the streets and becoming president, and you're like, how do they get here? Dum-dums like me. You know, it's like, I just 14 months ago got sober from alcohol. Thank you. If you can't tell by looking at me, it was long overdue. You know, people all the time are like, Hannah, how did you know when it was time to get sober? What was your rock bottom? I'm like, rock bottom? I've been living in rock basement. Time to get sober, you hear people all the time and they'll say that they're bad, you know? Some of you are these people. You're like, Becky, let's be bad. We gotta work in the morning, 7 a.m. But we could have another pitcher of margaritas. Let's be bad. If it was 7 a.m., I was still awake looking at a room full of people I didn't like, going, are we gonna re-up on this 8-ball or not? Cokeheads too, my favorite crowds. It was a fun couple of years. That's all I could say. You know, you just hear people, they're like, oh, Becky, I'm so bad. I let a dumb dude nut inside of me. I might have to take a Plan B. First of all, as a 36-year-old, I'm up on my supplements and into multitasking, which is why I take Plan B as a multivitamin. It's just a once daily sweep of the old womb broom. Take that home with you. Tell it to your friends. It's awesome. I know. I wrote it. Oh. Imagine me at family Thanksgiving. My parents are cool though. Like I said, you know, we have a lot of respect for each other. It's like they don't come to my shows, you know, and I don't go face down again into my plate of mashed potatoes. You know, it's like, you hear people, like I was saying, they're just like, I'm so bad, you know, like I said, I might have to drain this pool. And it's like, a friend recently reminded me, she was like, Hannah, you remember that time you faked a pregnancy to pay for a fake abortion? To pay your rent? It's not funny, it's hilarious, I know. I mean, honestly, I was the other woman and he wasn't in a position to call my bluff. Some of you guys were like, I don't fucking like this girl, but that's feminism, whatever. Try it if you can. I just don't think I can get away with it again. I got $750 cash. I called the market price on an abortion like it was shaved black truffles and twin lobster tails at a Michelin star rated restaurant. That's not bad, White Rabbit. That's the Antichrist, you know? Ooh. You know, like when I got thinking about why it was so hard for me to get sober, I realized it's like I said, it's just because I'm mixed. I paired a German love of alcohol with an Asian desire to be the best at everything I did. I was in between a walk and a white place. Asian puns, I lost you there. Too bad I didn't do the Anne Frank bit. All I was gonna say is that in multitasking and the way I love to do things, I like to just like mash things up, you know, that are interesting to me. I like to learn about our past, and I like to play dress up. That's why I do historical cosplay. I go as Han Frank. We both love to write and don't have an inside voice. She got a book deal out of it. You guys have been great. Keep it going for everyone you've seen. I love you. Give all the money to Planned Parenthood so I can keep getting this thing emptied out.